when you challenge them, and what you got to keep in mind, Mehdi Hasan is the kind of guy he's not put himself in positions in life where he would be challenged, and he's always he's an innocent.
Just recently went on a Jubilee episode where it was like 25 far-right Nazis versus him. Matt has very complex views on the entire thing. Mehdi Hasan has been trying to point out for a while that Matt Walsh is a pretty intense white supremacist who has pretty abhorrent beliefs, and I think recently that's why the two of them are making video after video going at each other.
So we've reached the tattletale portion of Mehdi's public meltdown. We've reached the part where he's running to the principal. I'm telling, Mom, Matt's being mean. Speaking of liars, by the way, this was funny. Last week, I responded to the failed MSNBC personality, Mehdi Hasan, who we can all agree is certainly somebody without charisma. And he was...
Oh, glass houses.
Trying to explain. It all
sorry, log cabins.
Because he was trying to explain. He was giving some kind of, I don't even know, he was talking to somebody who asked him a question on camera. But he was trying to explain why the Muslim call to prayer blasting out at 5 a.m. in an American town is just as legitimate as church bells in America. And then he went on to say that he is just as American as anybody else, even though he's a Muslim Indian who came here from the UK 10 years ago to work for Al Jazeera.
Where did your family come from? Walsh. Because I'm assuming it's the same story. I don't think you're indigenous, right? So I'm guessing your family immigrated to America as well. It's kind of how it all works.
Okay, he came here in his mid-30s to work in media. Well, Mehdi didn't, so I talked about the show, I responded to it, and Mehdi really didn't like my response that much. He was pretty offended by it. It's clear that he was especially offended when I pointed out that his show got low ratings. That in particular really got to him. So he's been tweeting at me for days now.
I knew he wasn't going to address it. He was trying to point out the fact that Matt Walsh was just like categorically wrong about the fact that there were Muslim slaves who actually helped build the White House and, fundamentally parts of America. Matt Walsh didn't actually want to talk about that. He hasn't addressed it yet. Again, because it's not like something that he can really dispute. But he thinks just like the very idea of being both a Muslim and an immigrant by default makes you unable to be an American because, white nationalists will white nationalist.
I mean, for days, he has been posting frantically. And he did a video response, which was really quite low effort and low energy. And he's also just been tweeting.
It also did numbers. I think that's also why it's upset him so much, because Mehdi pointed that out. He's like, why your videos on your channel with all these millions of subs couldn't clear mine? I mean, that must suck for you, because you guys are all about the numbers, right? It's all about the ohms, the liberal tiers, the fucking the downvotes and that kind of shit.
Multiple times a day, every day. And it finally culminated last night in the inevitable, right? I mean, this is a guy who... There's just nothing going on. He's like a totally empty person. There's nothing. I think if you were to peer inside his mind, and you might argue it's probably a pretty dark place, but.
I love how he's like, his video had nothing of substance, and he's got nothing inside of his skull is nothing. Because it's empty, because he doesn't have a brain. Yeah.
I think it's dark in the sense like there's just nothing happening. Nothing happening inside his mind at all. Just a very stupid, unimpressive person who's failed in everything he's tried to do in life. So, but that also makes him predictable. So you know exactly what he's going to do. So this is what it culminated in. He tagged Ben Shapiro in a post.
Yeah, I knew it. I was like, the rebuttal video is not going to address a single one of his like historical points, is it? Nope. He's going right to, he tattletaled on me. Ben, it's not fair.
To try to get me fired. And the basis for this was that I retweeted a bar graph about EBT from some random account that had a bar graph that I thought was interesting. And so I retweeted.
I wonder if he's going to read this part out, because what, Evan Loves War, the account was essentially pointing out is like a couple things going on here. One, this is just complete and utter gibberish. right? And it's obviously that is complete and utter gibberish. Talking about the percentage of U.S. households receiving SNAP benefits, you know, I demonstrated to you not too long ago that the majority of recipients, I believe over 36%, are white. Yeah, because again, it's one of those things where even white supremacists don't care about poor white folk, right? It's not part of the project. They actually despise the poor. So you can actually say that sentence out loud. It's not even something you could be sued for. Donald Trump doesn't care about white people. Matt Walsh doesn't care about white people. They hate everybody. They're very hateful, spiteful people, except for, you know, obviously the extreme wealthy who have achieved a certain level of success and also being white. Those two parts together. But this same account that he retweeted, he's like, oh, I was just retweeting a random account. I have no idea what it was. I just hit the button. So what are you trying to blame me for? It turns out that they are pretty extremely racist and fucking... Yeah, I mean, you retweeted a Nazi account. That's what happened. So, yeah, I think that's, you know, probably pretty rough, something you might want to address.
The bar graph. And apparently, according to Mehdi, this guy posted this, whoever this random account is, posted something offensive a year ago or whatever. I don't know. The lamest possible pretense. So he tweeted this. Hey, Ben Shapiro, I know you're super...
You're not going to read it, are you? I mean, it is on camera for anyone who needs to, but come on. Yikes. And now it's on the Daily Wire. It's on the official Daily Wire network. Good job, Matt. Really bringing the message to the people.
Tagging, Ben. I know you're super anti-Semitism, or super anti-Semitism. So just letting you know, an employee of yours, Matt Walsh, is sharing graphs from a card-carrying, far-right, Nazi-sounding anti-Semite. So we've reached the tattletale portion of Mehdi's public meltdown. We've reached the part where he's running to the principal. I'm telling, Mom, Matt's being mean. That's what we've got to. And the funny thing is that, first of all, I'm not getting fired. Second, what does he think it would accomplish if I did get fired? Would I just retire from public life? And like, it's not going to happen, but would I retire from public life and never say another word again? Is that what he's hoping for?
No, you do what everyone who leaves the Daily Wire does. I think he's next in line, by the way. It's going to reach a cataclysm because Ben Shapiro's got a lot of problem right now with a lot of people who work in the network. Like, for years, they were totally fine with people giving and espousing every single kind of hate you could, except for anti-Semitism. That was the one little exception where people usually would, you know, not play too fast and loose with, although, you know, you did have Candace Owens on there. So, I mean, there were some pretty aggressive anti-Semites that were on the network. And I'm sure Matt Walsh is no exception. But Matt Walsh is usually focusing the most, like I would say, the totality of his hatred towards gay folk and specifically towards trans folk, right? Like, he hates gays, he hates trans people. It's basically what he's doing on a regular basis. So as long as he's doing that, that's all fine and good. The problem is, for people like Ben Shapiro, is that when you have a whole bunch of white supremacists or fascists or far-right individuals or Christian nationalists or any kind of stuff, they don't just dabble in one form of bigotry. It's not that they just hate trans people. They hate trans people, and they hate black people, and indigenous people, and Jewish people. They seem to hate everyone, as Matt Walsh himself has put it, and I quote, who aren't part of the Aryan Anglo-Saxon race, right? Like, that's one of the things he was always talking about on his old radio show. They're replacing us. They're replacing the Anglo-Saxons. Soon we're going to be a dying species because, you know, there's no more of us. And you know, that's the problem with race mixing and immigrants and all this stuff. Like, that's what he believes. That's the kind of style of stuff he used to put out there. And again, Ben Shapiro's going to be totally fine with him on the network as long as he just sticks to hating trans people. Don't veer too much into the anti-Semitism. Don't veer too much into, you know, some of the areas that some of your contemporaries are going right now. I also think if he left, he wouldn't in any way be able to do what Candace Owens does. Like, he needs this like a life raft. So he won't be leaving of his own accord. It's going to take like a pretty strong cataclysm between like his own audience. Like, they're already a large portion of the far right are calling him things like, you know, a white cuck and a race cuck and stuff like that. And like, he is beholden to his Jewish master. Like, they're putting out some pretty aggressive, really vile fucking shit in his replies because a lot of them are Nazis. I mean, this stuff, the audience for people who just hate on gay folk or trans folk or indigenous folk or black folk all day, it's Nazis, right? A large portion of them have to be white supremacists. Most of them hate a lot of different things. And so there is a portion of them who want to see Matt Walsh become, again, their Aryan overlord. They want to start hearing him say things that are a little bit more aggressive. And like, he does get to say the things on that show that they want to hear, like like, you know, indigenous folk were barbaric, they were savages, it's really good that we colonized them, you know, it's a good thing that we enslaved black people, I would say it was a benefit, you know, all that kind of shit. He's allowed to do that, but it's the area that he can't enter right now that he's feeling a little bit of, I would say, you know, Nazi existentialism.
Or is that the plan? Well, that's not how it works anymore. And this is the problem for these people, is that they only have two modes, right? Only two modes. And they have not developed a third mode. It's only two. And the first mode, so when you challenge them, and when you gotta keep in mind, Mehdi Hasan is the kind of guy he's not put himself in positions in life where he would be challenged. And he's always, you know, he's an NSA.
Just recently went on a Jubilee episode where it was like 25 far-right Nazis versus him. Like just a circle of them. I don't know. Is that not the definition of a challenge? Matt Walsh was telling Mehdi Hasan, you're not a real immigrant to the United States. You're not a real American, all this kind of shit, because, you know, you're a Muslim, and I don't believe that you care about America, all this kind of, you know, racist post 9/11 style shit. And then he makes a video about him, and then he just uses, again, facts rather than feelings, unlike Matt here, where he talks about, hey, did you know that historically a percentage of the people who were actually, you know, enslaved and brought over to America were Muslim, and they helped build the White House. They helped build a lot of the American institutions that you know today. So in many ways, yes, Muslims did help build the country. You're just a racist and you don't study history, so you don't know that. Now, this is Matt's response to Mehdi's response. And so now we're at a point here where Matt's trying to be like, he's got nothing. He just calls me a racist. And he doesn't have a brain, no brain and skull, and he doesn't really know what to say about this, while offering nothing. Zero rebuttals to any of the arguments. He's not actually going to, you know, look it up. He's not going to challenge them. He knows he's wrong, I'm assuming, on a handful of them, or they probably did like a chat GPT, and it was like, actually, sir, while it is an excellent question, you happen to be a flaming racist, right? Like that's all we're seeing here.
Tried that. Surprisingly, not effective. You know, yelling the word racist at me for the 10 billionth time, shockingly, has no effect. Like, you can say it. There's no reason. You may as well just be shouting gibberish. Like the word.
No, I know it has no reason. You love being a racist, but do you actually address
the key demographic? 37,000, which is almost impossibly bad. Do you understand? I mean, keep in mind, cable news at MSNBC, because his show was pulling in 37,000 viewers in the key demographic.
Oh, so you're just making fun of his viewership? That's it. Yeah, I mean, he's basically faking it everything these days, right? He's trying to fake being, at this point, a strong man. I've never seen him wear this tight a shirt. Clearly he had to put his fighting shirt on for today. I'm not just a man's man. I'm not just a lumberjack. I'm coming for war. Okay. I still can't get over his new background. It's the fact that they put it into like a perfect 4 squares. It's so ridiculous. I don't know of a single woodsman, a single cabin owner, a single person who works with his hands who wouldn't walk into a room like this in utter and complete contempt and disgust. It's so ridiculous. I can't get over it. Like, I have chopped wood. All right. I used to have to do it as a summer job for my dad. I've worked with my hands. I've literally chopped logs for hours on end. I am revolted by you, sir. What is this shit? Well, in the corner, we got propane fire. Other corner, there's a little boat. You know, there's some extra plaid there, so you know it's platy. And then top right corner, canoe I've never used. No one can. It's actually a bookshelf, but that's quaint, ain't it? And then you got the fish. Yeah, the one I never caught. The one that got away.
37,000, which is almost impossibly bad. Do you understand? I mean, keep in mind, cable news, a certain level of viewership is baked in. You automatically get. It's like when you sign your name on the SAT or whatever, and you automatically get points just for signing your name. Mehdi Hasan, that's my guy. 0 of the 1,000 would say that. And so now it's gotten so bad that he's actually been, like this week, he's been tweeting, bragging about how many views he got on his rebuttal to my video, even though all of his views are people who clicked on the video so they could leave a comment making fun of him. So all the comments are just...
Oh, wow. That's wild. Again, this all stems from the fact that, like, He's not willing to actually address any of the actual points. The thing that Matt Walsh ended up retweeting by a Nazi account here, the 1776 general, who, if you don't believe they're a Nazi, just like start reading some of this shit, which he's now putting on screen on, Ben Shapiro's network. So great job, Matt. Way to help spread the message. But this percentage of U.S. households receiving SNAP benefits, the number one are from families from Afghanistan, then come families from Somalia, then come families from Iraq, then the Dominican Republic, then the Caribbean. The majority of people who receive SNAP benefits are white people in the United States, the overwhelming majority, which doesn't actually surprise me because the majority of the population in the United States is white. The second group that receives SNAP benefits by ethnicity is black people. But it should also be noted, amongst all the SNAP recipient benefits, a very large percentage of them happen to be children, and a lot of them also happen to be working families. I know Matt's been fucking working overtime right now to basically tell everyone that, like, I've done a lot of research on this. You won't believe this, but SNAP benefits, the whole thing is a scam. It's so we can pay for people not to work, and so they can play video games, build goon caves, all that bullshit. It's not true. Honestly, it is a lot of working families who are now going to be in a horrifying situation due to the fact that they are being intentionally starved by the Trump government, who doesn't have to do this. That's the other fucked up part. Like, if they say, well, I mean, the government shut down, this is just part of it. No, there is a reserve fund that has already been allocated. There will not have to be, a raising of funds. Just $6 billion in waiting to be used in this kind of a situation to be able to pay out people who require SNAP benefits to live, and stop making everyone angry, or try to make them angry, at the poor. That's the whole point of everything the Daily Wire, every one of these right-wing pundits does. Make you angry at poor people to protect billionaires. They are all billionaire bootsuckers, every fucking one of them. That's all they do all day. Hey, are you upset about things in your life? Of course. Who isn't, right? I'm having trouble meeting women. My job sucks. I just so many things I don't like in life. Yeah, who's to blame? The poor. People who have nothing. People who live on the street. They're to blame. Really? Yeah, that and the immigrants, they're to blame as well. Wow, I didn't know that. And trans people too. Really? I don't know any trans people. They don't really affect my life. I don't know anything about them, actually. You do now. They're trying to go into bathrooms, they are, and play sports. Yeah, it's a real thing, so be real scared about these things. Hate other people. Just don't hate the people who are doing this to you. Like my boss. Like your boss. Don't hate him. Don't hate the company. Don't hate any of that. Yeah, you just make sure you stay mad every single day at people without power and make them all fight each other.
Thank you so much to our patrons for making this show possible. We could not fund it without you. And if you want to join, please check out patreon.com/theserfs to unlock bonus episodes, uncensored content, and all the good stuff. Thanks to Anna Loves Riley, Addercap, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hegbard Salim, Multimondi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet One 85, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demmel, Tigwick, and Words Greenwood.